You and your partner both work. Two salaries, two direct deposits, two people grinding 40 hours a week, and yet you have less financial breathing room than your parents did on one income in a cheaper era. How is that possible? You did everything right. You got the degrees. You both climbed the ladder. You bought the house that required two paychecks to qualify for. And that is exactly where they got you. Because here is a dirty mathematical secret nobody told you at the altar, at the closing table, or at the car dealership. Two incomes did not make you twice as wealthy. Two incomes made you twice as exposed. Every fixed cost in your life, the mortgage, the car payments, the daycare, the subscriptions, was silently calibrated to require both of you working forever. You didn't build a life on two incomes, you built a prison on two incomes. And the moment one income disappears, a layoff, an illness, a recession, the entire structure collapses. Like a table with two legs. This is called the two income trap. And today, we are blowing the door off it. My name is Jack, and I spend way too much time obsessing over the invisible equations that govern our lives. If you and your partner are both working full-time and still feel like you are one bad month away from financial disaster, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because today we are performing a forensic audit on the two income trap. We are going to dissect why it was built, how it was engineered, and then I am going to show you the radical, counterintuitive escape route. It is called the one income rule, and it will make your entire financial life feel different. Let's get into it. Here's what actually happens when a couple goes from one income to two. Let's run the numbers cold. Say partner A earns $60,000 a year. Partner B gets a job, also earns $60,000 a year. Household income doubles, $120,000. Now watch what happens to the costs. They upgrade the apartment because they can qualify for more now. Add $12,000 a year. They buy a second car because partner B needs to commute. Add $8,000 a year. They need professional clothes, work lunches, and dry cleaning for two. Add $4,000 a year. They outsource childcare because both people are working. Add $18,000 a year. That is $42,000 in new fixed expenses just to sustain the second income. And that $60,000 salary, after taxes, partner B is taking home roughly $42,000. You see where this is going? The second income is barely breaking even on the cost it generates to exist. Economists have a name for this. It is called the marginal value of additional income. And for most dual income households, the math is horrifying. Yet you are not earning a second income. You are running a second income through a machine that grinds it into powder. Now, here is where it gets darker. Lifestyle inflation is annoying, but it is survivable. The real trap is not the lifestyle upgrade. The real trap is the lock-in. When two incomes are required to service your fixed monthly obligations, your mortgage, your car loans, your insurance, your minimum debt payments, those costs do not go away when an income does. Economists call this concept fixed cost rigidity. I call it the ratchet, because a ratchet only moves in one direction. It clicks forward. It does not click back. Your mortgage company does not care that you got laid off. The payment is due on the 1st. Your car loan does not care that your partner is sick. The debit hits automatically. This is the mechanism of the two income trap, as originally described by Harvard professor Elizabeth Warren before she became a politician. She studied middle-class bankruptcy for decades, and she found something shocking. And the families going bankrupt were not the irresponsible ones. They were the responsible ones. Two income households, good jobs, nice homes, children in good school districts, but they had built a cost structure with zero slack, zero margin for error. The ratchet had clicked so many times in so many directions that there was no position left to retreat to. One income disappears. The whole machine seizes. Here's a concept almost no one talks about. When your household income jumps, because you added a second earner, you do not just pay more in taxes. You get pushed into a different tax bracket behavior entirely. Let's go back to our example. Partner A earns $60,000. Effective federal tax rate, approximately 13%. Now add partner B's $60,000. Household income is $120,000. Depending on how you file, significant portions of that second income are now taxed at the 22 or even 24% marginal rate. The government sees a wealthy household, but you are not a wealthy household. You are two people barely covering two sets of costs, and now you are paying a premium tax rate for the privilege. This is the invisible second tax, and it is almost never factored into the we both need to work calculation. Add it up. Higher marginal tax rate on the second income, the cost to sustain the second job, the lifestyle inflation that followed the second paycheck. The actual net contribution of that second income to your real financial progress is often shockingly small. Sometimes it is negative. This one is psychological, but it is lethal. Most couples believe that two incomes equals more financial security. More money coming in, more safety, more cushion. That is the intuition, and the intuition is completely wrong. Here's the actual risk equation. With one income and low fixed costs, you have 1 point of failure, but your fixed costs are calibrated to that one income. You can survive the failure. With two incomes and high fixed costs, you also have 1 point of failure because the fixed costs require both. Losing either one triggers the same collapse. But now you have 2 points of failure, two jobs that can be lost, two health situations that can deteriorate, two careers that can plateau or disappear. You doubled your exposure, but you did not double your resilience. You concentrated risk while feeling diversified. This is the risk concentration paradox, and it is why couples who have been doing well for years can find themselves in financial crisis seemingly overnight. It was not overnight. The ratchet had been clicking for a decade. They just never heard it. So how do you opt out? The one income rule is not complicated, but it requires a level of discipline that most people will refuse to execute. Here it is. When both partners are earning, you design your entire fixed cost life around one income only. Pick the lower income. That is your operating budget. Mortgage, car, utilities, groceries, insurance, childcare. Everything must be serviceable on that single income alone. The second income, it does not exist for lifestyle purposes. It is deployed entirely with surgical precision. High interest debt eliminated first, then an emergency fund, 6 months of expenses minimum, then tax advantage investment accounts maxed out, then taxable brokerage accounts, then real assets. And the second income is not for restaurants, it is not for vacations, it is not for the upgrade, it is a financial weapon, and you point it at the future. Now let's run the math on what this actually produces. Couple, combined income 120,000, fixed costs calibrated to 60,000. They direct roughly 42,000 of the second income, after taxes and second job costs, toward wealth building. Over 10 years, at a 7% average market return, that is roughly $580,000 in invested assets. Over 15 years, nearly $1 million. And here is the part that changes everything. They were already living on 60,000. So when those investments generate passive income, dividends, interest, distributions, they do not need much to replace the lifestyle. The lifestyle was never inflated. The cage was never built. This is the exit ramp. But there is a second layer to the one income rule that most people miss. Resilience. Because when the fixed costs are calibrated to one income and partner B loses their job or gets sick or decides to step back, nothing breaks. No emergency, no panic, no bankruptcy filing. You just redirect. The machine does not seize because the machine was never dependent on both gears running simultaneously. You built a table with 4 legs, not 2. And this is the real reason the one income rule is not just a saving strategy. It is a structural redesign of your risk profile. You are not just saving more money, you are becoming uncapturable. One more thing, and this is critical. The two income trap was not an accident. Every industry that profits from your spending, real estate, automotive, retail, consumer credit, benefits when your purchasing power is maximized and your discipline is minimized. When you have two incomes, lenders will lend you more. Dealers will sell you more expensive cars. The market will show you bigger houses. The system is designed to expand your consumption to the edge of your income and then lock it there. The one income rule is a refusal. It is you looking at the machine and saying, no, you do not get both paychecks, you get one, and the other one is mine. Two incomes should mean twice the freedom. Instead, for most couples, it means twice the obligation and twice the exposure. You didn't get richer, you got more fragile. The one income rule fixes the foundation. Live on one, weaponize the other, build the exit. If this made something click for you, share it with someone still running the two income treadmill. Subscribe, because the next audit is already in progress. I'm Jack, and I'll see you in the next one.